Welcome to the unique event that is the Tour of Mull Rally, running for its 39th year, and again sponsored by Tunnocks, manufacturers of the famous tea cake. For 1 week of every year, this beautiful island that is as famous for its stunning scenery and wildlife as it is for its hospitality and friendliness welcomes rally competitors, service crews, marshals and spectators alike to enjoy this truly captivating event. For 2008, Rally HQ had moved to the new harbour building in Tobermory, and as we have seen in previous years, the weather in the run-up to the event was somewhat changeable. This was the ideal chance for a close-up look at some of the cars. But of more concern to the crews, it was the weather and tyre choice. After scrutineering, time to sign on in the new harbour building, home of the Sea Life Research Centre.
Okay John, 2008 Tunnocks Tour of Mull Rally. It's a bit wet this year.
It certainly is. I think it's going to make it quite difficult, yeah.
And the new road sections and some of the new tar and the new route, what's that done to your prep this year?
Not a great deal, must be honest. We obviously changed the notes to accordingly, but it's pretty much the same as before. I think the speculation on this tar being slippy is, I think we'll find out when we hit the first bend.
Yeah, I think so. It looks pretty slippy and pretty narrow down there.
Yeah, it is. Well, I say we'll not know until tonight, and we'll have to see what the weather's like then. It might have dried out a little bit, well, hopefully anyway.
How's the preparations gone?
Preparation's been very good this year for once. We're actually through scrutiny and noise check a lot, just about to go and sign on. We had a good run down a couple of weeks ago in the McRae stages, so just ready to go. Ready to go right now.
And what do you think the stages are going to perform like tonight?
I think it'll be quite interesting with this rain. I think it's to dry up later on, but it'll still be slippy. A lot of puddles and that still lying, so in this new tar through the first stage it'll be quite interesting.
John Squinscoll, 2008, how's your prep gone this year?
It's gone fine up until the fire extinguisher going off this point. Just before scrutineering, but then better than at the start of the stage. Yeah, we're ready. I think we've got a good setup. I think it's just slippy. I think everyone's going to be cautious, but we'll see. The weather forecast is better.
And how's the recce gone before your accident this morning?
Came up a bit later than usual. Just work commitments meant we couldn't do it. So we came up on Tuesday. We spent a lot of time, but I think you can get too familiar with your notes, and it's often better to call a halt and actually run on the notes, otherwise you run on your memory. So,
Chris Hall, you won your class last year in the 205. You're in the ST this year. What's your expectations for this year?
Well, if I better my result at all than I did last year, then I'll be very happy. Top 10 would be very good, so we'll just have to see how it goes. It depends on the conditions. If it's wet, it might suit us, it might not, I'm not sure.
And how's the preparations gone for the event with the car?
Yeah, really well. The car's fine. We did a little bit of testing up at home, and it's perfect. So the wreck has gone well as well. So we've got no excuses.
Each year, the 2300 Club award a fantastic prize to an up-and-coming star of the future. And this year, that prize of a free entry, plus a visit to the Rally School Norway, and a set of Kumho tyres, would go to Phil Scholes.
Phil Scholes, the 2008 John Easton Scholarship winner. How does that feel?
Oh, it's amazing. It's brilliant to be offered the drive for Mull and to do the rally. It's I won't be able to afford to do it to have a good go.
And what sort of season you have? You've obviously impressed with results and stuff like that. And when did you find out you had the win?
Well, the year's been all right. It's not been the best year. I mean, we've done well and got noticed really from doing little bits of things. So we've had a few bad runs. So we thought that would have paid an end to doing the rally. But to get the award 4 weeks ago was just like the mad dash to get everything sorted. So to get here and be doing it's ace. It's really, really good. We had a rally at Wheaton before we were coming here, and we broke the car, the drive shaft snapped. So we've been trying to sort out some new drive shafts for it to get it ready and bits and pieces, and it's just we've got the car ready. So it's just up to me and Jamie now to do the bit. Been wrecking since Saturday when we came up, done all our own notes, and seem very happy with what we've got. So it's just not to go too silly and drive like we normally do, and just keep it steady away, and just hopefully have a good finish.
Neil McKinnon, 2007 winner last year. How's your preparation gone this year?
It's gone not too bad. We haven't had a lot of time for preparation this year. I've just had a run of the car last night and it seems fine now.
And is it the same car as last year, or is it a different one?
It's the same car. It's had a new engine. We had a lot of problems with it last year with the engine, so it's had a new engine. The brakes have a bit of work done on the brakes, and really that's about it. Nothing else. It seems fine, eh?
Okay, and you're back with Mike in the co-driver's seat. Are you going to continue to use pace notes from last year? Are you going to go back to your usual format?
We'll not be using them this year because Mike doesn't do any rallying apart from Mull, and it's 2 years since he's been in the car. So we're just going to drive it inside.
And what about family rivalry among Paul? What do you think this year? How's he going to go?
I think he'll go well, eh? I think he's got Daniel with him, and I think the combination of the two of them will work well. And he's put a fair bit of work into it, so hopefully it'll go quite well.
And so we head to the start ramp, and as the winner in 2007, it was Neil McKinnon first onto the ramp. For 2008, the route had been changed, and so the first stage would be just over 14 miles in length, and take competitors along the Glen Arros Road into Der Vig village, and up over the hill road. And with several newly surfaced sections, this was certainly going to be quite an opening test. So here's McKinnon Senior as he exits the Glen. Heading to Der Vig village, he was obviously working the brakes very hard, as they glowed brightly in the dark. But he didn't look too comfy, and sure enough, he was already having engine problems. Second into the stage and heading towards their front door, it was the local heroes, Callum and Ian Duffy. They looked visibly quicker, much to the delight of the large crowd. They would actually catch and pass the struggling Subaru of McKinnon, stopping the clocks on 11 minutes 54 seconds. Third off the start ramp, waved away by Boyd Tunnock, it was Cumbrian Dougie Hall. Earlier in the week, Dougie had cycled the 22 miles of coastal road from Grewline around Calgary Bay to Der Vig, raising money for charity along the way. But into stage one, he was on much more frantic pace. It was a good start for Hall, stopping the clocks on 12 minutes 2 seconds, but already 8 seconds slower than Duffy. John Cope had only had his new engine back on the Tuesday of Rally Week, and with little time to fine-tune things, it would be a more cautious start. We'll go on board with John and navigator Rob Fagg.
Left one and crest into flat right, 100. Crest and flat left, and crest into flat right, 75. Straight on crest, 75. 50, flat left over crest by house, and left one. 50 wet. Caution, right one on crest, slippy. 50 wet. right 1 on crest, 75. Very long left 1 continues, and to caution, right 3. Into junction, left 9. Junction, left 9. Straight on bridge. Into long right 4 tightens, into right 5 at post. And right 8. And left 1, 50. Right 1, and left 3 on crest. And flat right. Into flat left. Into long right 3 tightens. And junction, turn left 3, keep in. 50, crest into left 1, slippy exit, and long right 1, and left 1, 50, right 1, 100, left 2, don't cut, and flat right on crest, 50, straight on crest, 50, right 2 at post, 50, left 1 on jump, into caution, yump dip and double caution, left 2 over crest away.
They would reach the end of the stage, stopping the clocks on 12 minutes 35 seconds.
Don't cut.
McKinnon Jr., Paul, had the 2007 winning navigator alongside, and before punctures last year, he was challenging for the lead. He certainly looked quick here as he closed in on John Cope. He would set the fastest time, stopping the clocks on 11 minutes 47 seconds, some 7 seconds quicker than Duffy. Seeded at number 6, Paul Kirtley was in a newly built Subaru WRC for this year's tour. But following a couple of offs last year, he was taking things a little easier on this opening stage. Second two-wheel drive away from the start in Tobermory, it was James McGilvery and Ian Fraser. But James was not 100% fit and was taking painkillers for a bad back. We'll join James and Ian midway down the glen on this newly surfaced section. Just watch how twitchy the car is. And it was a good start for this local crew as they stopped the clocks in 6th place. Dennis Biggerstaff was back for another go at Mull, and hoping for dry weather, and at least, so far, so good. But as the car approached Dervig, it didn't sound too good. We'll go on board with Dennis and navigator Graham Thompson.
6 right, 100. Cut 2 left over bump. 150 down mid. You got a retorch with you? Yeah. Cut 3 right, 100. 3 left late, into. There's a crowd up here, I'm stopping here. 3 left, 100.
Unfortunately, they would have to find somewhere to stop and change a puncture, but doing so would drop them over 6 minutes.
Straight on. You're all right. Have you got a torch? All right, get the torch out. I'll do the jack.
Tony Bardi is a regular competitor on Mull, and following a disappointing run in the Hyundai last year, he had reverted back to his trusty Nissan for 2008. But he too was in trouble. The flame-spitting Nissan was only in two-wheel drive, and Bardi was struggling. Wesley Patterson was making his Mull debut, having just recently finished top two-wheel drive and 5th overall on the Wexford Rally. Callum Duffy had persuaded Wesley that he should give Mull a go, and he was surprised at just how tight and narrow the roads were. We'll join him on board partway down the glen. Daniel Harper had started the stage a minute later, but was making the most of the extra development and horsepower since 2007, and Wesley was in for a surprise. Roughly halfway through this 14-mile stage, and those lights in the mirror belonged to Harper. Harper would continue at unabated pace to set the 5th fastest time, whilst Patterson knew he had a lot to learn about Mull. Young Chris Hall had drafted in the M-Sport Fiesta Sporting Trophy UK coordinator Richard Milliner, and he was enjoying an exciting first stage ride.
To 2, and right one hook, into square right, left 4, go 40, right 5, into left 2, right 6, and left 4, and right 2 tightens, into slot left 3 up, into crest, left 4, right 4 long, bump, left 3, bad bump, left 3.
It was a fantastic opening stage, stopping the clocks just 16 seconds behind his father, Dougie, to take an early 4th overall.
And left 4 on bridge.
8th fastest would go to Willie Bonnywell in his Subaru, whilst it was a superb start for the little Peugeot of Ian Mackenzie, not only leading Class B, but stopping the clocks in 9th overall, just 1 second slower than the Subaru of Bonnywell. And rounding out the top 10, no problem so far for Eddie O'Donnell. There were some other notable early performances. Tristan Pye and Kirsty Riddock were leading Group N in their Subaru. John McCrone had graduated from the local Bear Cubs rally team and was now driving a 1600cc Peugeot 205. He was certainly getting lots of local support, and it was a great opening stage as he also passed the car ahead, putting himself into the top 20. And the John Eason Scholarship winner, Phil Scholes, he too was making a great start, ably guided by Jamie Foster.
5 left tightens, into 5 right over crest, 6 left, into 6 right, 30, stay middle over crest, 100, 6 right over crest, I'll repeat 100, 6 right over crest, 70, stay middle over flat crest, 5 left over crest, into 4 right, into stay middle over crest, into immediate 3 left plus, sorry about that, 50, 5 right over crest, 50, stay middle over crest, into 5 right over crest, 5 right over crest, 50, 6 left, 50, 5 left over crest, 30, 4 left, into slippy 3 right all cut, 70, 4 right over crest, 50, kick right, into 5 left, 30, 5 left, 5 left, into 3 right, into open square left all cut, stay middle over crest, 3.
Crews now faced 2 more stages before the first service halt. Neil McKinnon had taken the opportunity of a long road section to allow things to cool down, and so he lined up at the start of stage 2 on time and raring to go. Neil would actually record the second fastest time for the stage, but shortly afterwards he was seen parked up again. The overheating engine had reoccurred, and he didn't want to risk any further damage. 2 more great stages for Callum and Ian Duffy would secure their second overall, but after just 3 stages they would be 27 seconds behind the overall leader. And it was the young Paul McKinnon and Daniel Barrett who were setting the pace. And what a pace too, with fastest times on all 3 stages. Dougie Hall was maintaining his pace, and 2 more top 5 times ensured he would return to service in 3rd place. But he would have to start to keep an eye on the rapid Mini Cooper S of Daniel Harper, who was on a real charge. We'll join him and Chris Campbell as they near the end of stage 2. James McGilvery was finding the rear suspension setup to be a little too soft, causing the back end to skit about. But a quick adjustment before stage 3 would see an improvement, and he would head to service in 6th overall. One place higher, his first stage, 4th fastest, was proving to be no fluke as the young Chris Hall was absolutely stunning. Tying for time with McGilvery on stage 3, he was certainly the early revelation of the event, and giving Richard Milliner an insight into flying lessons. We'll take another look from on board.
And right on big jump,